All right, Gerry, what are you thinking so far in that story mode of Tekken 8, man? I know you're super early, but it's already starts off at a 10.
Not even just hitting story mode just before, just where the intro starts. All I heard was like Metal Gear Rising, just sick ass electric guitar, fucking fast drums. I'm in it, you know, and the whole thing just anime when the fucking B characters came out and did their own little anime pose. It was fucking perfect, dude. Like Leroy and the gang and everybody, I'm like, God, this is that entertainment that I want. It's gonna be fucking stupid anime bullshit, and it is already with the first fight coming in. God, man, Jin just riding up a building and throwing the bike at the helicopter. I'm like, yeah,
so good.
We're in it. This is Tekken 8.
This is Tekken.
Yeah, I beat the story last night. I was looking at like, man, I could make one of those shitty like out of context memes with it. Oh, but I can't post this because it might spoil some shit. But it's like, it's so stupid. No, but yeah, it's really cool. It's crazy how they bumped it up to the next level in this game compared to the end of 7. Because, 7 was a call off, was a farewell to Heihachi. Because since he's not in this game anymore. But then this one, no, we're going straight back into the story. Jin woke up and he's ready to fuck shit up.
So Jin is doing the fucking Sora falling in the water thing right now.
Oh yeah,
this game has everything.
Yeah, he's walking away.
He's going through his Shadow the Hedgehog arc right now. Honestly,
yeah, he's trying to right his wrongs. I don't know what else is from there. I've been kind of just every stream I've been watching is just people playing ranked, and I'm like, that's cool and all, but I'm kind of grateful that I haven't seen anybody play the story, because I played a little bit of the story before, but I don't really care about the story, honestly. I'm like, fights, fists, there's a dude with...
It's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah, bro, I'm like, you know what, I'm just in it for the experience now. Jin is trying to right his wrongs, and he did a lot of wrongs, apparently.
Yeah, so in Tekken 6, he started getting more corrupted with the Devil Gene. Basically started World War III with G-Corp and was just bombing all these countries, trying to take over. I think he was trying to find Kazuya. I can't remember. Just genocide after genocide out here.
I don't know how his mom comes to be, but he said a line where he's like, Mom, I failed, I can't protect everybody, you know? So I'm pretty sure something significant happened between like 6 and 7, and it's somewhere in there where like Jin talked to his mom or something. Because again, like I don't follow the story that close. I just know who's the relative.
Yeah, well, he took a back seat in 7. I think he just got captured, and he was basically in a coma the whole game. And the reason I did that because it was going to be the shift of the final fight with Heihachi and Kazuya at the end. I think it's the last cutscene. Like Jin finally wakes up and he's there with Lars and with Zhao Yu and no, not Zhao Yu, with somebody else, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to go fight Kazuya. Like, let's do this. June is coming back in this game, and that's why she's being brought up right now, because she's gonna show up later in the story to some capacity.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, the story is very confusing because it's like in the beginning it was all like, oh, arcade stuff, and yeah, they all kind of connect, and now there's an actual main story, and then all the characters have they're essentially like just little what-if character episodes for this game. Like I did a few today, and basically it's, oh, the Tekken tournament is here, and the winner is going to take over the Zaibatsu, and it's like, oh, okay, so if they win, if you win with your character, then it shows you what they would do if they were the CEOs of Mishima Zaibatsu.
Usually goofy shit. It's pretty good.
Dude, it's so goofy.
Goofy shit.
It's so goofy. It starts like I played Laws because I heard about Laws. Oh man, like his dojo got foreclosed because he has all this debt, and so he wants to win the tournament. And then you beat Paul on his last line. Said like, okay, I guess I'll hire you. And then you see him wearing like Bruce Lee's Hollywood outfit, all bougied up at this dinner. And then Paul shows up. He's like, yeah, so basically the UN sent you a bill for all the damages that the Zaibatsu did during Tekken 6, and it's like in the gajillions. Locke freaks out, passes out, and then he had a heart attack and then just dies. And then you just see his soul just float out of his body as he goes into the air. It's so funny.
I like how they had to add that kind of, not that they had to, but I like how they kept that kind of humor in the game. Like we get that kind of, we expect that kind of stuff out of things like Kuma, or Panda.
Yeah.
Are there any other like memeable endings, I guess, like arcade endings?
Yeah, well, yeah,
There's a bunch, I'm sure.
yeah, every character has one. I've only seen like meme one. I saw that one, and there's one with Steve. Steve's is so funny. It's basically a Hajime no Ippo reference, but it's just like a shit post at the same time. It's so good.
I saw Tekken is just one big shitpost. Like, what if a bunch of strong people just came around and one of them was a devil, and then an angel came in, and there's an ogre, and then there's a true ogre,
Yeah.
Harada, and then I'm in it. Harada's great, man.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bear here. He's talking. Oh, this guy's wearing a jaguar mask, but he speaks in Jaguar. It's like,
He's Mexican.
oh yeah, he speaks Mexican. That's right.
Fuck, man, this game is great. Like, I'm glad it stuck around this long. Like, the earliest I played was like Tekken 2 on my uncle's old PS1, and just seeing it coming into like Tekken 8 is really like, I don't know, it pulls out some heartstrings for sure. Just seeing how like big it's getting, and it's still like it's so polished right now. I fucking see all the shave marks on Kazuya's face, man. Like. I just like had the image of, you know, that stupid image of that fucking the camera just going to Kazuya and then he just looks at it and smiles.
Yes,
and like
yeah.
the old fucking
The old
3D
shitty one.
graphics, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And to him now, I'm like, man, I can see his fucking whole ass nipple. We are far in the world.
Yeah, no, it looks so good.
The character designs these time around were so good. Like, I just... there's so many interesting characters. Like, as somebody who doesn't have the game, I'd just be wanting to get the game primarily, and again, I feel like everybody could agree would be like for the character customization. Like, I think they went balls for the wall with this one. I saw a random video of somebody fighting a Leroy, and I noticed that he had like a fade, and I was like, oh damn, like you really can go all out with Leroy. Give him like waves or like a fade and stuff like that.
I haven't experienced
the dreads.
I haven't experienced the creativity from the community yet, so like I'm just ready to see. I just saw like a little glimpse here and there of some masks. I saw King had like fucking bread as like headgear. I'm like, oh man, there's gonna be so much wacky shit I'm probably not gonna be ready for.
I've been messing with it. I think most of my time has been stuck in character creator. There's definitely not as many costumes that you can pick, like as like clothes and stuff for your upper and lower body segments. There's not as much as in 7, but I think when we got like the season passes, they came out with like more stuff to add in there. So hopefully we'll get more throughout the lifespan of this game. But you know, you can do a lot. They added like, yeah, it's like Leon's jackets in there. You can easily make Tifa. I saw somebody make a Samus. I made Danny Trejo with Law, which was pretty... I like that one.
You made you with Zafina? You made you in fucking college, man. That shit was wild.
Yeah. I was just flipping through like, okay, well, what kind of shirts are there? And I saw one, I was like, oh, I know exactly who I'm making. And they had this tiger print shirt, so I made the old lady from the sub-stories for Yakuza.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that slaps, dude.
Yeah.
Yes, bro, in her golden years.
Yeah.
That's great.
Such a good one.
God, that's such a throwback. It's so good. Yeah, Tekken 8 is pretty good. I've once I saw like the trailers for it, I was kind of like intrigued, and then I saw one of our friends Raven play it, and then you started playing it, Danny, and then like I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta get in since I have people to play with now instead of like being in my own room by myself at the PS2. Our blades sharpen each other in battle.
That's right.
Are you sure you didn't want to buy Soul Calibur when you say something like that?
Oscar, don't be jealous. You just can't sharpen my blade.
The heat of battle will rise.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking last night, I'm like, man, Dante would be perfect for like Tekken. I'm like, no, wait, actually, probably Soul Calibur. And it's like, oh yeah, but you know, Soul Calibur just didn't.
No.
It didn't make the numbers they needed for 6. So,
Bro, I feel big
Honestly,
Dante vibes in this game.
yes,
Like, just by the intro alone, dude.
Dante would make so much sense considering like DMC is a combo game and so is Tekken. Like, it's all about button inputs. If anything, like, I'm surprised that's not even canon.
I was telling you, Oscar, I'm like, this is just a rhythm game, right? Like you have to put the buttons
Yeah.
in like at the certain frame, and it's like it gets embarrassing and annoying when you hit like down instead of down right. Which yes, I know that's a flaw in Tekken. Fuck it, it's meant for like fight sticks, not controllers. So I'm not that big into this yet for me to warrant like wanting a fight stick just yet though. I feel it coming though, just not so soon. This is definitely like a fight stick material game.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to drop $300 on a fucking fight stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of clips on my feed of like tutorials of how to do like the Korean backdash or like the electrics, and just like it's all about like the rhythm in order to always land it perfectly kind of thing. But those fight sticks specifically were also the ones where they don't use a joystick for movement, it's the buttons.
See, there you go. Like, I was like, if I was a different person, or if I was like maybe 5 years younger, I would have just like dropped money on one right away. But like the thing is that these are like definitely customizable. So like, what was it like? It was one of those tournaments where some dude was just fighting with two joysticks. I don't remember. I remember seeing some dude in a fighting tournament online somewhere where I think it was two joysticks or like just a button setup. I don't remember. It was something crazy like that.
Yeah, the fight stick community is so awesome because they just do whatever they want and it works. I mentioned it, like, I think a long time ago. Willie was doing commentary for like a DBZ Fighters tournament, and this guy showed up with a USB keyboard for like, you know, one of those like Guitar Hero games. He's like, I mean, it's just comfortable to play like this. Some guy modded his like Guitar Hero guitar and put the joystick in there and used that to play Guilty Gear. It's like, yeah, sure, man. If you can do it, it's fucking awesome.
Well, as long as he meets regulations. Yeah, I saw a video earlier today regarding hitboxes and things like leverless versus lever, and it just mostly comes down to you could literally get a pizza box and put a bunch of buttons in the pizza box and use that as a legal controller in a tournament. Right, as long as it meets the standards and the script, so that you can't, you know, do illegal things, then it's totally fine. Like no turbos, no scripts, you know, no simultaneous inputs for cardinal directions. So like, they made this a rule where like if you have leverless controllers, so you have buttons for left, right, up, and down instead of an actual like stick, like a script basically, so that in the hitbox, you can't use left and right at the same time, or up and down, because then it's like an advantage for people trying to like set up combos and stuff like that, where you can do cardinal points at the same time. So yeah, so stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
So like, just imagine somebody walking up on you with a pizza box with 12 buttons on it and be like, you can't use that, but they actually can.
Or there was that the meme. It's the DOA fight stick, and somebody put like all the fight buttons in the joystick on like the top bust of a mannequin, and it's like, does that work? I don't know, but that's for DOA right there, baby. No, but yeah, that stuff you're talking about reminds me of Smash Melee specifically back in the day, where people wanted these specific GameCube controllers because it was one out of like 600 or something that got manufactured has like this malfunction on it that causes you to do simultaneous inputs on it. And it's like, you didn't mod it yourself, like the controller has that, so it's technically okay to use. That's a whole nother thing to open right there with fight sticks, man. It's crazy. But no, I've been enjoying Tekken. I mean, I'm getting my ass kicked a lot on ranked, but you know, I'm just slowly learning. The new characters are fun. New mechanic is great. Really helps intensify the whole rounds. You know, because it's all fast paced, kicking ass and all that. They also added like healing as a thing. I didn't really notice it that much until we were playing yesterday, Jerry. But yeah, like there's that clear bar behind your life. Yeah, you'll just slowly heal per like confirmed hit. But so some characters like Jun, she has moves where she'll heal too, and then like there's a green flash on your health bar, and that's how you know, like, oh, they actually healed more than what the clear bar had for them.
I've just been playing around on practice mode, honestly, just trying to figure out what button launches what, and then trying to follow up with combos. I'm trying to get combos in my head, like just trying to hammer in the basic combos they show I was playing arcade mode for a couple times, and the ghosts that were on there were fucking me up, dude. I'm not ready for online. So I just gotta, like, spend some time in the lab and then just, like, duke it out, trying to figure out what are the lows, what connects to what, for Yoshimitsu at least. And then from there, I'll probably figure out, like, the basic mechanics of the game, so it'll probably make everybody else sort of easier. Because I want to pick up Asuka again. I was fucking the parries are just crazy.
Yeah, man, don't be like me and just hop straight online and then just get wrecked.
Some would say that's like the peak way to fucking learn, though. Just go head first into deep water.
Yeah. I mean, sure, you could tell who's new to Tekken, and then I'll get some matches. I'm like, you've been playing this character for like 15 years. Like, yeah, I'm not winning this match. Yeah, a lot of pressure, man. It's been fun. I can't wait to play more and seeing like what's in store for like the future seasons to come up.
Oh yeah, might meet me either. It's gonna be like Smash all over again.
Heck yeah, man. We're recording this on the 1st, so that means yesterday was the state of play. They only said like, oh, we're gonna show off 2 games and then like some other stuff. I was like, oh, okay, so it's not gonna be that crazy, but holy shit, we got some pretty good stuff in here, man.
Holy shit, indeed. I think I might have missed like the first game showing or something.
I wrote down like just the ones that like we would care about, because there were some games where I'm like, I mean, yeah, whatever. Like that's just the game. Showed off like some Helldiver stuff to help promote it, since that's coming out on the 6th. So that was fun. And then the first big game they talked about was Stellar Blade, and that's the character action with the waifu. I think it's from a Korean dev, if I'm not mistaken. And when the screenshots first showed up like years ago, everyone's just like, oh man, it's the new horny game. Watching some of the gameplay, I was like, oh yeah, there's like some DOA physics going on when she's walking around. It's like, okay, yeah, Sony pitched money in and they're like, we're not going to censor it this time. It's like Nier, and like, I think some people were saying like Revengeance kind of vibes to it. It's like Nier Automata, right? You're just fighting mechs and like ruined cities and factories and deserts and stuff.
Definitely one of the games of all time.
Yeah. After that, you saw the new Sonic thing coming out then?
Yeah, the Sonic Shadow Generations. My sister was just so excited. She came to me to talk about it. I'm so proud of her. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I saw like the levels Shadow was going through, and I was really surprised because those were the levels from his game, from Shadow the Hedgehog. So it's like, are we gonna like revisit some old levels as Shadow? Like, I haven't played the game, so I'm not really sure how the story goes, or how Shadow would be himself incorporated, or if they're just gonna give him like, hey, we got Shadow in here and he's gonna go through some of his levels and that's about it. Like no substance behind it. I don't know how they're gonna play it out. But if they were to play it out like story wise, that there's gonna be some lore in it. I'm surprised where they're gonna go, because he's the tragic hero.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else is pretty much cut and dry. Shadow's like complicated.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know, it looks pretty fun. It's a Sonic game for sure. Like, so it's just gonna be how fast can you move through this level. I wonder if Shadow will be able to hold a Glock. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's the real question here. Where's his strap at? Because boy never lacking the Mac. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. Yeah, the Shadow. I mean, Shadow is showing up for Sonic 3, so I'm sure this is supposed to help like get the hype back for Shadow, so that way when the movie comes out, everyone will be there. And then after that, Konami's here and they said, "Hey, we're still doing stuff, guys. We promise. Here's a free-to-play game, a short message."
I think I got to. It says on the PS5. It says I got to Chapter 2, and I'm at 0%, which I think is BS because I was playing through like a little bit more than that. I thought it was pretty much cut and dry because short message. You think it's gonna be short, and honestly, it does not look polished. It looks like they just threw some shit together, and it can look a lot better. That's for sure. So like, there's no complaints. It's a Silent Hill game. It's first person. It's this girl experiencing her own Silent Hill. There's a lot of trauma involved, a lot of suicide. They make it a point to like put in the suicide hotline in the game like a couple of times in the game. I don't know. I think it's just so that they can clean their hands off of this kind of stuff, just in case somebody's like triggered or something. That's what I think, but I'm just a cynical pessimist. Yeah, it's longer than I thought, honestly. Because when I had reached a certain point, I was like, oh, that's it. So this is how it ends. I'm like, that makes sense because this is a Silent Hill game. It does get pretty dark. Bam, you start again, and it's like, oh, this is where the PT version comes in. It's pretty cool. Things turn up a little different. I'm definitely spooked. If it wasn't Silent Hill, I probably wouldn't be playing this.
What did you think of the trailer for 2 Remake?
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah, that actually hyped me up because it looked fucking great. If that's how the gameplay is gonna look, like just dark, and if you get hit, just splattery everywhere, it makes it harder for you to see. I'm in, because most of the game is like, what the fuck is that over there? It's too dark to see. And from what I've seen, like not even the flashlight on your coat helps. This shit it's gonna be great. I think it turned my opinion around, or if anything, it raises it a little slightly more positive on what I saw. That definitely was James Sunderland, fucking piece of shit. And those were definitely the monsters from Silent Hill 2, like multiple versions of the same kind of enemy. Like there's an enemy called Legs, where it's just like mannequin legs like put together. They just walk around and fucking poke you really hard. There's like multiple legs on that leg from different mannequins, which is pretty cool. I like that. So it makes it seem like it's more like cobbled together from shit you just found in like a department store. You got like your OG Trident Truce, your spitter, that one creature with no arms that just walks towards you. And yeah, no, I from what I saw so far, I liked it. This was the point when I was kind of in and out of the stream. I just saw like the gameplay. I didn't really pay attention too much if he was saying anything or anything like that. But I did listen to the music, and they got that shit on point. Same thing with the short message. Like during like the little cutscenes going back, whenever like you have a little monologue playing, the music in that, it's actually pretty nice. It reminds me a lot of like Silent Hill 2, and this is honestly just getting you ready for that. I feel, because it has the whole vibe. You know, it's just in a foggy town. You're not even like walking around in a town. You're in a building complex that was abandoned. Yeah, I have good hopes for it.
Yeah, I know nothing of Silent Hill. The only thing I've ever touched was PT.
When I saw the trailer and when I realized that this was like in the age of remastering where everything needed a fucking remaster, I was kind of, as you can tell, negative on that point. Because, like, what other games did Bluepoint make?
Oh, yeah, Shadow Colossus, Demon Souls.
Again, like with the whole, I'm just a negative pessimist about remakes and stuff. Like, some things shouldn't need it, but I understand a lot of people haven't played Demon Souls, I included. So that's appreciated a lot. I guess same thing with Silent Hill 2. So now I guess I'm starting to come around to it, seeing how good of work they're doing. That was the personal bias of myself, is that I hate remakes. But this is cool. This is looking pretty cool. I just gotta think of it as a remake and not the original Silent Hill 2. It's a long cry from what it used to be. Like with the HD remaster for the Xbox, I think that's where I got my bias from. Like the last time they tried to remake or remaster this game, they kind of like took the Silent Hill out of Silent Hill, and it looks like you're just walking around in an empty space. Mm-hmm. You know, from what I saw, again, I'm hyped. This is one of those series that are near and dear to my heart. So, like, you know, I haven't gotten the Master Volume Collection or whatever, because honestly, I don't need to play 1 or 2 again. Like, if I wanted to play them, I'll just emulate it.
They picked 2 for a reason.
Yeah. What I'm actually looking forward to is Delta, and see what they do with 3, because
right.
I think 3 is like the pinnacle of what's supposed to happen, even though this was supposed to be like Kojima dying off from Konami telling him no or something. I don't know. It's a big fiasco on Kojima versus Konami.
Yeah, it's the big thing, man. How are you gonna make Metal Gear without Kojima himself? I mean, granted, it is a remake, but that direction and flair that he brings to his games, you know, without him there, what's the difference gonna look like?
It's like a shell of it once was. Like, you might as well play a pachinko.
But it's okay, man. It's okay, because you know what?
Because speaking of Kojima,
he fucking showed up.
Whipped it out.
We saw Death Stranding 2, which was fucking sick, but right after that, he mentioned that, yes, he's making another game with Sony, and it's gonna be an espionage game, and it's like, holy shit, dude, Metal Gear really is back now.
Dude, we're fucking back, dude. With the stream I was watching, they kind of had their border and showing the cast of who's watching and stuff. They had the subtitles blocked, so I couldn't really see. I saw the action espionage. I'm like, what the fuck? What does that mean? That was like right after the Death Stranding 2 trailer, and I was confused. I'm like, wait, is that what Death Stranding 2 is gonna be? Because if so, we're so back. But if this is a separate game, oh my god! And then stay tuned. Where is he? Columbia Production Studios.
Yeah, because he mentioned working with like Sony's, more than just Sony's game development stuff, also with the movie stuff and like sound and music and all that. So yeah, he's probably alluding to making a movie.
Is this the year we get the production by Hideo Kojima in fucking movie theaters? God, I'm gripping my fucking chair so hard right now.
But yeah, we did get the thing for Death Stranding 2. The whole thing, it's like almost 10 minutes long. It still has some what is going on.
So much in there, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of what the fuck is going on. It's also way more straightforward than I thought it was going to be. Really just laying out what looks like the main plot might be, which is just, you're literally just picking up almost where you left off at the end of the first game, which I kept saying, like, I don't know, what would you do after the end of that game? It doesn't, I mean, there's room for literally anything that you can do. But seeing this trailer, yeah, I'm still hyped.
Yeah, dude, I might actually start playing like today because I want to be caught up to like everything. I'll get the plat slow. I don't give a damn. I'll just hit up the story and then just work my way around from there, just so I'll be ready when 2 comes out. Because God, man, there's so much. Can we just talk about the brother Joker part
yeah,
really quick and just like gush about all of that fucking bullshit he was doing with his electric guitar?
It's so
fucking shit. That shit is Dante as fuck. Just a fucking railgun guitar. Just hit the tasty licks. You fucking hit a speeding bullet.
To make sure I get his name right, it's Yoji Shinkawa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's designing some stuff in here, and of course he was the art director for like the Metal Gear games and stuff.
This is gonna be awesome.
But yeah, the freaking samurai mech fighting the freaking Joker is awesome.
Autumn, right? In 2025.
It said 2025. Yeah, I'll be fair, man, because
you can't rush perfection. Yeah.
He still has OD coming out, which is their Xbox game. So that's going to be out first, and then we'll see. Yeah, but no, it's looking great. I was looking at the gameplay stuff, and I was like, oh shit, like, okay, we're elevating the delivery service stuff going on, and like the new mechanics with the world environment. Like it's looking great. And one of the bosses you fight looks straight out of Elden Ring, like the giant finger spiders.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. There's some wild stuff happening. Like I don't even know.
I mean, yeah. There's a lot here you're not gonna know, but they have a submarine that looks like a spaceship. That's pretty crazy. Moving forward into like the actual world, like advancing the technology and all that stuff.
Does it look like a big time skip to you?
I would say.
Or is it like it's straight up after it? Oh yeah, of course, because the baby's out of the.
You see Lou.
The baby's out, huh?
And he's looking like, I mean, I don't know, anywhere from like a few months to a year old.
Or he could have just been part of he'd been on the rain for a little bit. I don't know.
The rain's weird when it comes to people. It won't age you up like that. It'll just age the parts that it touches. So like there's a scene, like one of the opening scenes for the game is Sam goes to grab like this photo he dropped, and a water droplet fell on his hand, and in that little circle where the water fell, his skin started wrinkling up.
So he ages physically.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like, oh, just dunk this baby in Timefall water and he'll be ready for high school tomorrow. No, that's not how that works.
Just baptize the baby in age water, dude.
No, it's very different.
I'm thinking maybe Sam is like in trouble or something and Lou's like away, so Lou's like fucking, I don't know, maybe like he gets like exposed or something.
Interesting stuff in here.
I don't know. Again, like I gotta play.
I'm looking forward to the plot a lot. It's gonna be crazy. I think you'll like playing Death Stranding. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea because you're literally delivering packages, but it's like, yeah, you get your plan set up. You know, you pick your route, and like how okay, are you gonna bring a gun, or how are you gonna bring anything to carry some of the stuff? What kind of vehicle are you using? What's the terrain? You know, there's like all that factoring in. Yeah, so officially, Death Stranding 2 on the beach. And just honestly, the title right there already implicates a lot of stuff. I never got into the whole BioShock era, but they're making a new game. I don't know if you guys care about that.
Judas. I saw the trailer for that. That was pretty cool.
It looks cool, yeah.
It felt more that obviously there's some influence of BioShock from here, like compared to like the actual enemies that she was fighting and stuff like that. But overall, I thought it just reminded me of that one game, the like psychedelic game with the drugs, and you're in the UK.
We Happy Few or something like that.
I forget, Jerry. Were you big in the BioShock era, or was that just Adam?
Yeah, I've actually played them all. That's weird. I have to remember that. I haven't played We Happy Few though. Yeah, that didn't really.
Is that also the BioShock people?
Yeah, I don't really understand what it's about. I think it's about probably community taking drugs and hiding what's really going on, I guess. I don't know. But BioShock, yeah, I've played those, enjoyed them, loved the atmosphere. It's a great aesthetic. Very few games are like that. Like Bloodborne, I think, is one like I compare to in terms of like the atmosphere and world building and stuff like that. But then it took a dive with Infinite. We all agree that like Infinite wasn't what it should have been, and like the ending was kind of like, hey, so this is how it connects all to BioShock, and we're like, this kind of sucks. This sucks.
That's it. Just not gonna sugarcoat it. It sucks.
Yeah, so it's like it's a good, again, like the world building is fucking phenomenal. The lore is honestly pretty top tier. Gameplay wise, it can be a lot better, a little clunky, but it's honestly like, don't give me any plasmids or anything else named after that like differently, but it's still the same shit. Like electric abilities coming from the same hand, like for like 3 different games that aren't even related to each other, I think. I'm sorry, but like BioShock's over. We haven't gotten a new game in a while, and they're obviously moving on. So it's like, just fuck around with the formula a little bit more, you know? That's what I think. With this one, Judas coming out, it looked pretty cool. It still reminded me of like BioShock just because obviously it's what it looks like. I barely remember the trailer, honestly, to tell you the truth. I'll probably watch a stream and I'll be like, yeah, this is cool concept. Probably that's it. It won't get me around to buying it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Yeah, but that's as far as I go too. We did get a bunch of VR stuff, you know, because Sony's pushing VR 2 and all that. And I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. You know, I walked away for a second to grab something, and then I looked, and I was like, wait, what's going on? What is this? And then, boom, the title shows up, Metro Awakening VR. A VR game set in the Metro world. And this is what we were talking about, like last episode about VR. It's like, this is what would pull me in, dude, because Metro's such a great series. I can't wait to read the books when I get to that point. But like the environment and stuff that they did when they made those games, like just the monsters that are on the surface world too. It's like, oh man, I can't wait to see that kind of stuff and just shit my pants, dude. It's gonna be so scary.
Hell yeah, man. It can only go so far as what the VR capabilities can go, which is fine, you know. It's just expanding and growing every day. This looks like it's going to be a good example of how far we've come and what we can do.
Yeah, if it's looking great, that'll be one on the list to if I ever get VR, that'll be one to grab up.
You know, like when you get kind of immersed into these games, like with the title like Metro, they put some extra love into this project, you know. I would want something like, it's kind of hard to imagine considering how VR games are actually played. You know, like a seamless cutscene, maybe pre-rendered, like kind of like when you play, I don't know if you've ever played Doom yet, but like Doom has a lot of these where you kind of just like go from actual gameplay to cutscene to pre-render, and it all kind of seems really seamless. And I think that would be really, really good for things like Metro, especially for this VR aspect. It'd be exactly what we need in first person, considering the game's already in first person.
I'm excited. I'm definitely going to check it out and see what it's going to pertain exactly. Because it'll be like its own thing. It's not going to be based off like the books or stuff like that. It's just based on like the gaming side of the series. You know, I was talking about this game with a coworker the other day, saying like I might just hop into 2, man, because it's like a sequel reboot kind of thing. But yeah, we got some stuff for Dragon's Dogma.
Oh my gosh, so sick. Had me off the wall, dude. I was so excited. The usual thing about it is like you pick a class and you're pretty much stuck with that class until you go back. You saw a wizard do like some ice magic, and then as soon as the monster is like stunned, he like busts out a 2-hand Flameberg and just starts running up on this monster. And I'm like, dude, this is exactly what I needed, bro. Just finally just switching classes in battle, like It's really just like the apex of this game now.
Yeah, I didn't know much. All I knew is that, like, oh, you can get the Guts armor in the game, and it's like a fantasy action kind of stuff.
Hey, you hit it on the nail pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
So at some point in the game, you can mix classes, so you're not just subjected to like one armor type and all the weapons and stuff. It's actually a fun time now that I remember. If I remember correctly, it gets pretty hard too, even with your pawns and stuff. I would replay it.
I don't think anybody really cares for this, considering like all the other games just did not go on par with the first one. But Until Dawn's getting remastered. Okay, that's cool, I guess. I guess it's to hype up like the movie that's gonna come out at some point.
Are they hiring the same actors that participated in the game for the movie?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about the movie.
I don't even know there was a movie coming out. I'm not a fan of the Man of Medan games, or what are they called? The Dark.
I don't know
what.
Man of Meridian.
The anthology series thing. Yeah.
QTE the game.
QTE the game.
Like it honestly be better like a viewing aspect instead of like playing. I believe so. I know it's gonna be a stupid teenager. It was Until Dawn, right, where they were in the woods.
Yeah,
and then there was a coal mine.
Yes,
the Wendigo. Yeah, in the coal mine.
Yeah, I know what it's about already.
That's right. The other big game that they teased that they're going to talk about was Rise of Ronin. We finally got an extensive look at that game, and I'm so ready. This is made by the team that made the Neo games, so you already know day one I'm going to be there. New features and stuff going in there. The big thing is like the Sekiro grapple is in the game now.
It reminds me of Assassin's Creed, the period in between where Japan starts getting integrated by like British forces and things like that after the war. We're getting like
historical fiction.
I think it's really cool. Like, yeah, the plot will definitely be something that I will pay close attention to for the game, because a lot of the times, especially with the DLC, like for Neo, like those historical figures that they had, that they had to study up on, even if it was like a fantasy setting with demons, I think they did pretty good, accurate depictions of them. Kind of like in their normal roles as far as normal goes in, the Neo world. But, I am curious to see what kind of characters they're going to bring in, who they're going to basically take from real life to flesh out the story. So that would be pretty cool.
Man, it said March of this year, so it's already next month. Just a jam-packed first quarter as usual, right, when all these games start coming out together. They ended off the state of play with saying on the 6th we're gonna have another state of play, but it's gonna be for Rebirth. How is Infinite Wealth, Oscar? What's going on over there?
I bought this game the day it came out. So far, I've put 55 hours into this game. It's really good, man. Honestly, I don't want to give too much away from the story because I know that we're not all up to speed yet on what's going on in the Yakuza world. I will say I don't like the fact that the trailer just kind of throws it all at you. Like, before the game actually came out, the one thing that I disliked was that the trailer, the English trailer anyway, was just pretty much just like, oh, you'd never played the Yakuza games? Well, don't worry. Let me just not even worry about summing it up for you and just telling you what's going to happen right now. So that's kind of a bummer. I know that's kind of to be expected, but like, especially for a main character like Kiryu, you wouldn't want to like give too much away. But it's just right there. Anyway, that was the only thing that bothered me. Aside from that, like playing the game so far, it's been pretty good. Kind of same old Yakuza in that format. You're still going around. A lot of the beginning is mostly a lot of talking and cutscenes, trying to familiarize yourself with like pretty much everything that you can do in the open world. So I did spend a lot of time in there. Like a Dragon, as you know, is a lot different. It's not like a beat 'em up. It's more like action RPG. And I think it's pretty cool. All sorts of interesting characters that you can play with, and then the backgrounds on those characters when you do like stuff like sub stories, companion quests and stuff like that. My favorite thing so far is, honestly, I would say it's the main character, like Ichiban. The different play styles he has, like with his classes and stuff like that, always like kind of sedimented him as my favorite character in the whole entire series, because he's like such a nerd, but he's old as fuck, dude. Like he's just so funny, dude. He's just a really like a unique hermit in a way, where he like doesn't like know about anything or doesn't really care about anything. He can just like survive.
Can I say based?
Oh yeah, definitely based.
Is he around Kiryu's age?
In this game, he's in his mid to late 40s. And then I think Kiryu at this point would probably be in his 60s, his like mid 60s. I haven't played it in English. I don't know if I'll end up playing it in English. One thing that we did talk about, and this was like a while back when I first bought the game, the pre-orders for the game there were 3 different versions, 2 different versions aside from the standard. In the PlayStation Store, they would tell you what the pre-order bonuses were, but they didn't tell you what the actual like DLC that were included with the bundles were. One of the things that I kind of didn't expect it, I didn't see it coming. They removed the New Game Plus feature from the base game and they added it as a DLC. So they try to like justify it by adding a dungeon at the end too, and like, you know, basically just some post-game stuff for you to do and like another challenge, all that other stuff. But at the same time, I thought like the last 7 games, you had basically made that a feature. Now all of a sudden I have to pay $20 for it. And I didn't even know that I had to pay $20 for it because I couldn't even see what it was. You know, like if I had to choose, of course I would have bought like the $75 one, which would have come with that DLC specifically, over the $105 one that comes with all the other stuff. I hope that in the future, like if they still do more like Yakuza series, it doesn't get worse. Because I think about like The Man with No Name and how they kind of released it a little bit cheaper than the other ones. Because I think you and I talked about it's not like a complete Yakuza game. It was supposed to be like a DLC. Yes. And it just kind of ended up making its way as a standalone. But I think to myself, like, what if they just decide to keep doing that and they get away with it?
There is a Yakuza fatigue. I haven't even hopped back on 6. It's just a lot of the same stuff and try to compact it with everything, just like the last game. You know, and now they're doing like 2 to 3 a year now. They're just pumping these bad boys out. It's crazy. Yeah, hopefully they don't really like start doing that where like, oh, we'll just release a lot of smaller Yakuza games that are like in between moments for the main lines. We did get an email. It's from the boy Mark. Thank you as always. Remember, it's unversedpodcast@gmail.com. He basically says, you know, what's a game, movie, you know, what's a thing back in the day you really enjoyed, but looking at it months or years later, you realize, oh, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought it was. You know, maybe I did have the nostalgia lens, the thinking back to it. I don't really revisit stuff a lot. I'm more of like a one and done kind of guy, unless it's something that I'm like, oh, I really want to dive back in and check it out. More often than not, when I go back and look at something where I'm like, oh, that was great, and then after I finish rewatching or playing it, I'm like, yeah, that was a product of its time for sure. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be popular currently, but back in the day, it's like, yeah, that's what the jam was. You know, I guess I will say like Chris Angel's Mind Freak.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Just because like,
wow. Okay, yeah.
Because you know we were like kids when that came out, and it's like, oh dude, it's magic, but this dude's edgy, man. This is fucking awesome. Oh, I want to be like, he's just like me. But then if you go back and watch it, you're like, man, this is some pretty cringy stuff, ain't it? It's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I mean, y'all remember the episode when he sawed himself in half on that levitating table or whatever? It's like, yeah, that was a time.
A lot of VH1 and MTV shows kind of do that for me too. Like every now and then when you see like memes that have like super small clips of do you remember a dating show on MTV called Next, where it involved like a bunch of dudes or chicks like on a bus?
I was so into trashy MTV shows like that, dude. Fuck. You just brought back a moment of my life.
Dude, so I think the nostalgia factor definitely turns up to 1,000,000 whenever, like, I think as a child, you're looking at something that was supposed to be for an older audience, and you were watching it early. Like, for us, as children, that would have been Adult Swim and all the shows that they were showing on Adult Swim at that time. You know, like, one of the reasons why no one who ever, like, watched TV, like, cares about Mission Hill, like a really old ass show, but like to us that's like a show that we'll remember forever, you know.
It's actually not bad.
It's a really good show. Like
rewatching it, yeah.
You know, like I think of like a lot of those reality shows like back in the day, pretty much anything MTV or VH1, to me, like that gives me that like nostalgia, and also a little bit of cringe, like a lot of cringe.
I think I'm gonna say Klonoa. because I remember playing it and actually like beating everything on it. When I was done, I was like, this was definitely a game. Looking for the sequel, I can't really find a good working version. So I can't I want to say that's the one where I found the most nostalgia in, but I'm at like an impasse right now because I can't really find it.
Question for you: are you trying to look for just the original, or because I'm pretty sure that they made a clone or remake?
Oh, the remake? Yeah. I'll play it sooner or later. No, it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I guess I should get it over with and just play it and see if it was like everything I remembered, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Safe to say that like 80% sure that it's not, but I'm gonna find my way around to it eventually. All the old hype that I had for it as a Namco game just died. I think it's just me getting over it, honestly. But I'm sure there's a lot of things like that where it's like you had love for in the past and now it's kind of like, what? I can't put my finger on one right now because I'm sort of going through a nostalgia trip. Different shows, the old anime. I guess trying to see which ones are actually good and which ones aren't really. The Sonic, one of the Sonic series did that for me. Like, I thought it was gonna be cool, but it's actually really registered for kids, really hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over this.
Is it the one with his brother and sister?
No, it's the Freedom Fighters one. I think the one with his brother and sister are like, it's more wholesome, but the other one is kind of like, you know what? Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking put it all together and say the old Sonic cartoons. They were definitely a product of their time. Right now I'm like, nah, he's too old now for me to go back and check out what he used to do. Are you reading any webtoons?
I'm catching up on Windbreaker. I'm actually almost caught up on that. I'm probably like 20 chapters behind now.
I have like a cycle I go through when I see like what's caught up or anything, where I'm caught up or something.
Yeah, you got to start off with the stuff you're already reading, and then.
But like I have like 4 different apps. Like I have the webtoons. I skim through that, see if Lookism has a new chapter. Then I go to the Shonen Jump app for One Punch and My Hero, and Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I have Manganado, Komi-san, Goblin Slayer, which had a new chapter out today. And,
oh man.
And Chainsaw Man. And after that, I go to the dedicated One Piece page, which we have a new chapter, boys.
Oh man, dude.
Hell yeah.
I don't think it. Wait,
did you read
today?
it?
What's today? I read the leaks, but I didn't read the chapter.
That sucks because I was looking earlier today and I didn't see anything. But yeah, you know, after I run the whole cycle, I'm like, I kind of go back, and if I'm still not satisfied, I go back and see what I haven't read. Oh, so is Manager Kim. I gotta catch up on a lot of shit, dude.
Oh yeah, dude. When the app I used to read, I scroll through all the things that says new chapter. I'm like, I don't want it right now. Give me One Piece. Give me Ippo.
Exactly.
Like, hold on, wait.
Is there a new release to Ippo?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm behind like 4 chapters.
Damn, bro.
Ippo's doing its stride right now. I think it's in a match right now. Or no, we're leading. No, the match is the big upcoming match right now it's starting soon. That's what it is.
I'm still like around, I think 650 or so.
You're almost halfway there, dude. Nice.
Yeah, I'm almost halfway.
I will say, like, yeah, as good as Ippo is and how much I like it, you definitely could trim some of that fat. There's a lot of gag chapters and stuff, which, you know, it's fun here and there, but yeah, if you're really trying to sit down and consume all of Ippo, it's like, yeah, maybe we don't need a lot of these slow-to-ass chapters, like slow build-up.
Yeah, I agree. There is a lot in between, you know, and a lot of it is just like how they also come into the circumstances of like meeting other fighters and things like that. I just think, like, I don't know, if you had gotten this far, like there had been a point where you had probably dropped that and started sticking to like the seriousness of what was going on or whatever the situation is. I like where it's at right now. I think the last thing I remember is what's his name's rival? I think it's Minamoto.
Oh, Miyato.
Yeah, Miata. There it is. He is going up against the son of the guy who ended his dad's career.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good fight.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, man, this is some good stuff right here, man. You know.
Oh yeah, it's not just, hey, you know, here's another guy, we're just gonna fight him. It's like, no, dude, there's lore, backstories. There's a purpose of why he's here on stage. That's why that look's in his eye.
You guys caught up on Chainsaw Man?
You know, I did catch up recently. I'm probably behind like a chapter or two right now, and I don't know. It's in a weird lull, but I think now it's starting to finally like shape up into like this. What is Chainsaw Man 2 really all about? And I think we're finally at that moment. But yeah, when I was catching up, I'm like, yeah, it's just kind of like nonchalant, whatever stuff. And even when I was keeping up in the beginning for part 2, it's like, I mean, yeah, it's cool. You know, it's still weird and wacky, but I feel like it's missing like a layer still of like what made it good in the beginning, as well as like Fire Punch. You know, there's like something quite there.
Fire Punch ended around like what, 100, like 110.
No, it was 70 something. But also it was a monthly manga. It wasn't weekly.
Kind of what I want to tie in is like, you know, you remembering back to Fire Punch, like we could see kind of like the pivotal moment where like the story was kind of heading towards its final direction, and I agree with you. I feel like this might be that moment here. It's been a wild ride, like as ascending, and then I kind of have to remember the guy that made Fire Punch is also making this. So at some point, like I have to imagine that whatever sort of like, I don't want to call it a twist, but more or less, I guess like tragedy, if there's going to be a tragedy in place, is going to be like a hell of a, you know, like a wild plot device. And I think it might have something to do with I don't know, with them resurrecting the demon. Like I think they'll go that far. He lost power at one point, and he lost the other guy too. I wouldn't put it past if he ended up losing. You know, that's just kind of like what I think that the mangaka would do.
I mean, we'll see. You know, it's Fujimoto. I want to say trust the process for the most part. Oh, man, yeah, I didn't look at it, Gerry, but yeah, it sucks to hear about Bloodborne cart, huh?
Yeah, Sony finally pulled the plug and said enough is enough.
And they're probably anticipating what it means for everything that comes after this. Because, you know, the other one got released successfully. No one really cared. Everybody was just like, oh, this is cool.
So I thought they were going to be cool with it, you know? Like you said, they were cool with the first one. I guess because, yeah, it's just like, oh, this is actually becoming like a bigger game than we thought. Like, I think I still followed the dev behind it. I'm like, fuck it. Okay, fine. Yeah, well, while you're racing, yeah, you can use weapons and stuff. Why not? Oh, dodges? Yeah, we're doing that. And it's like, so it started getting more and more in depth, getting like this actual team behind her to actually make this as a game. And in the Twitter thread, she was saying like, oh, well, actually now that this is actually a good thing now, because we're actually going to make an original game. It's not have to be stuck with that IP we don't own. So it'll actually be a full-fledged, no longer a meme fan game kind of thing. So, you know, luckily they said that she could keep working on it and not like actually take it all down. So that's cool.
She just has to change her assets, or what? Like she's not allowed to use the same assets?
Yeah, it had
I think that's
reskins, nothing like all the Bloodborne sound effects. Probably have to, you know, redub some of the lines that are references to Bloodborne. It has to just be, you know, quote unquote, legally distinct. Well, so while we're talking fan games, hopefully this one stays alive long. But a demo dropped for this project called Sega vs. Capcom. Only 2 characters right now, Sonic and Mega Man X, are playable in the demo. It's rough, but you can do some pretty cool combos. Sega vs. Capcom. That sounds fucking cool. Let's end it on a high note today, guys. Dropping in April, we're getting the anime for the Fable.
I haven't seen anything else of it but that poster, but yeah, I'm ready to.
I hope it comes on to Crunchyroll.
This is crazy how like we find these manga and we're like, this is actually really freaking cool. I think we have a gift, Danny.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah. Once we find something,
we just set the trends.
This is crazy because it happened with One Punch Man. If you haven't read the Fable,
1000% recommend.
and it has a couple of movies too, like in Japanese. So like,
yeah,
if you don't want
live
like,
actions, yeah,
they're just as good.
I don't think we talked about the movies on here.
I would give it a rewatch though, honestly, because like the movie just covers the first like the first arc, I think.
Yeah, it covers some decent ground from the manga, so it changes things, right, for it to be a movie, and to just kind of like just move stuff along quicker. I only watched the first half, and then I had to go do something, and I was sitting on it, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I really like the changes, you know. But then after finishing the movie, I was like, you know what, it's fine. Like, sure, like this last scene doesn't really happen, but it's cool and action packed. So for an adaptation, yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I still need to see the second one, see what's going on there. The only thing for the anime wise was like a 30-second trailer. I think it was also promoting like the volume sale for the manga. But yeah, it looks good. If that's what they're sticking with from this trailer, perfect. Because of course, you know what they're highlighting, Gerry, is his facial expressions.
That's right. Hell yeah, man. That's fucking so good, man.
Yeah.
It's so, man, I hope you're caught up, Danny, because it's so. Oh my god, where it's heading right now, it's so crazy.
I haven't started a second contract yet.
It starts pretty slow, then it fucking just takes off, dude.
I wouldn't say super slow. I mean, it has a pretty decent weight when you start it. It's not like it kind of...
Yeah,
like...
I mean, you just catch up, like, from what happened before, that's it. But, like, then shit happens, and it happens.
So right on, guys, while we wait for all these great animes to come out, let's continue grinding on these games. We're going to peace out and catch y'all in the next episode. Remember, unversedpodcast@gmail.com. Any questions or comments, we'll bring them up on the future episodes. So thanks, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.